This lesson is for 4th grade, Module 5, Lesson 36. In this lesson, we're going to relate repeated addition to multiplication of fractions. The first question says to draw a tape diagram to represent 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4. Well, since I have 4 groups of 3/4, I'm going to start by dividing my tape into 4 groups. So there's my 4 groups. Now I'm going to divide each group into 3/4. So each group will be 3 sections, and I'm going to show each section is 1/4. And I'll continue that with the other 3 groups that I have. So here are my 4 groups, and each group is made up of 3/4. I'm going to show that as a label down below. So here's 3/4. Here's another group of 3/4, another group of 3/4, and my 4th group of 3/4. I can look at this as 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4. The question then is, how many fourths do I have in all? Well, since there's 3 in each section and I have 4 sections, that means I have 12 fourths. So the answer is 12/4. I could also show this answer as a mixed numeral or whole number. If it takes 4 to make a whole and I have 12, then that means I have enough to make 3 wholes. In the next problem, we're going to show 2/12 plus 2/12 plus 2/12 on the tape diagram. Since I have 3 groups of 2/12, I'm going to break my tape diagram into 3 groups. And then I'm going to show each group as 2/12. Here are my 3 groups, and each group consists of 2/12, and I'll show that down below. Here's 2/12, and here's my second group of 2/12, and my third group of 2/12. Again, the answer to my question is, how many 12ths do I have in all? So I'll show this as my total. Well, I have 3 groups of 2/12, so that would be 6/12 in all. 2/12 plus 2/12 plus 2/12 equals 6/12. Now let's see how this relates to multiplication. It says write a multiplication expression equal to my 4 groups of 3/4 that I showed in the first tape diagram. All that means is I'm going to take 4 groups of 3/4. 4 times 3/4 was 12/4. And again, that was the same as 3 wholes. Here I have the expression 7/12 plus 7/12 plus 7/12. So I'm taking 3 groups of 7/12. Well, if I have 3 groups and there's 7/12 in each group, altogether I have 21/12. If I want to change that to a mixed numeral, I would think of my multiples of 12, and the closest would be 12/12, and that leaves me with 9/12 left over for a final answer of 1 whole and 9/12. In the next section, we'll show the repeated addition again as a multiplication problem. Started with 4 groups of 7/5, so that would be 4 times 7/5. To figure out how many fifths I have, I need to take 4 times 7, which is 28, and the pieces stay fifths, so 28/5. If I want to write that as a mixed numeral, I would think of my multiples of 5 that get me closest to 28. That would be 25/5 with an extra 3/5. 25/5 is the same as 5 wholes, and I have 3/5 left over. My next question shows 3 groups of 9/10. So the multiplication problem would be 3 times 9/10. To find my answer, I need to find 3 times 9 tenths will still be the denominator. Well, 3 times 9 is 27, and I have 27 tenths. To break that into a mixed numeral, I would think of my multiples of 10. Well, I can take 20 tenths, and that would leave 7 tenths. 20 tenths is the same as 2 wholes, and then I have 7 tenths left over. We can use our multiplication strategies to answer word problems. This question says Morgan poured 9/10 liter of punch into each of 6 bottles. How many liters of punch did she pour in all? I'm going to start by writing an answer statement with a blank where the final answer goes. So we'll say Morgan poured blank liters of punch in all. Now let's look at the multiplication problem we're going to do here. Well, we have 6 bottles, and each bottle will have 9/10 of a liter. So I'm taking 6 times 9/10. To find the answer, I would take 6 times 9. The denominator or the unit will stay the same, and that will be tenths. 6 times 9 is 54. 54 tenths. I'll use the number bond to break it into a mixed numeral. I'm going to think of my multiples of 10 that get me closest to 54. That would be 50 tenths with 4 tenths left over. 50 tenths is the same as 5 wholes, and then I have 4 more tenths. And that's my final answer. Morgan poured 5 and 4/10 liters of punch in all.